Hey guys, welcome to another No Swear Gamer video. Today I wanted to show you some of the differences between the packaging for Atari 7800 games in 1984 versus their later incarnation. You see, what happened in 1984 when the Atari 7800 came out, it was about the same time that Warner sold Atari to Jack Tramiel from Commodore 64 fame, and for about 2 years the 7800 sat on shelves. So what happened was there was this very limited test market launch of the 7800 in 1984 during the sale of Atari, and the games, I mean, a lot of the games were the same, but the games had different packaging. I wanted to show you just what happened. The test market was in Southern California, very limited, very small release, so not a lot of people have even seen these packaging. You could see your standard Atari 7800 box of Joust that you would find quite easily. Here's the 84 version of the box, and as you can see, it has more of kind of a 3D look. You have the kind of the grid in the background. The artwork is largely the same. On the 84 packaging, they emphasized the 7800 Pro system. They actually emphasized the Pro system name. You still saw the 7800 on the side, but later on, it was all about the Atari 7800, just a generic 7800. They rarely mentioned that it was the Pro system. Also, I like the kind of font that they used here, where it goes from orange to yellow. I do like this logo. This logo is pretty cool. On the 84 box, it says the Flyaway arcade hit, and then they just went a little more generic, the all-time arcade hit. Let's look at the sides of the boxes. A little bit of difference here. Here's your standard one. One thing they did with some of the earlier releases is they put little characters on the side, which was a nice touch. So I do like this character, but once again, you have the cool font there for Joust. And you can see the difference. Just Atari here. Here you got the whole logo. You had the nice purple stripe, which I assume if you got a bunch of the games, the stripe would just like go along your shelf if you lined them up. And the part number is on the side here, where in later releases they put it at the bottom of the box, on bottom of the box. And let's look at the back here. So this is where you really see some differences. The 86 and later box, that's when the Atari, this version came out, was 86 and later. They just reuse this every year. Very bland, lots of empty space, touche, really kind of not the greatest screenshot, not a lot of action going on there. And a lot of their bullet points is technical stuff, like it's for use for the system, for North American television sets, for the controllers, and just one little paragraph there. And here we got a lot bigger artwork going on here. You have a quote from Electronic Games Magazine, Wing It, and also Fly with Joust. You can see the Warner Brothers label on the bottom there, the logo there, because that's when they owned it. And more of a description and a much better screenshot. I mean, it's just filled with action and even more colorful. This one looks a lot more colorful. This one looks a little bit more drab. You see that? It's kind of dark and dingy, and that one's just full of color. And their bullet points focus on everything in the game, not the technical features. So some kind of interesting there. Now the manuals were different. Now, interestingly enough, when I got this box copy of Joust, inside was the 1986 version of the cartridge and manual. So it's possible that when they re-released the game, they found some old boxes and used them in a limited amount. So it's possible you could have bought this in 86 too, but otherwise you would have had to been in California in a specific area in 1984. Let's talk about the manual differences for a second here. So here's your standard Centipede manual. Here's one from 1984. And as you can see, they're quite a bit different. This reminds me of some Silverbox games for the 2600 had similar manuals. This one just black, white, and red. This one full color, and it looks a lot nicer. This one, the back is just plain. This one, the back is part of the manual, which tells you all about the enemies. So let's go ahead and open this one up. This one folded out into basically 6 pages. There's the enemies. So you could see 1986 version, 1984. Definitely like the 84. This was probably a cost-cutting measure. Man, did this look good. This was a nice looking manual. And let's go ahead and here we have just this one. I mean, again, full color, looks nice. One thing interesting too is it talks about the trackball, which it doesn't mention in the later manual. It actually talks about sharing a trackball for one of the 2-player variations. In the next manual, they don't mention the trackball at all. It's like they totally ignore that it existed. And this one gives you some survival tips, some bullet points. Here, this one is a lot more wordier. It's cleaner and it's more technical. And, you know, it spends very little time. Look at this over here, game variations. It gives you the game variations in one little blurb right here. And this one just takes a lot more time talking about the different ways you could play it. So that there's a game variation starting there, and it goes on and it almost takes a page by itself. I mean, it's crazy. And these have strategy, and they're completely rewritten. They don't really share anything. Blast those bugs, zap that pest. I mean, this one is just kind of cold to me. It's cold. It tells you about it, and it gives you a little bit more story, but the presentation is a little more cold. This one, even though it's just 4 pages, it's so much nicer and so much warmer. Sadly, I don't have many 84 cartridges. I only have Pole Position 2. The games that came out in 86, they had just gray, black and white labels, if you will, grayscale labels. And in 84, they had these shiny, full color, metallic looking labels. Pole Position is the only one I've been able to find. And this is your typical Pole Position 2 cartridge. This one's from 1987. Might be the most popular of the labels. You could see it's pretty clean after all these years. And here we got 2 from 84, and they're a lot dingier. And I'm guessing that either the material or the glue was different and it bled through. That's probably the glue. You see that in Activision games. Interestingly enough, this one right here was put on backwards, completely backwards. And I think this was from, this was the original 1984 model right here. Totally different orientation. This one was put on the correct way, but it has this shield that was seen in some of the 1986 games. This one has no shield. So I'm not sure if they're just, which one came first. I'm thinking it's this one, and then maybe later on they're reusing or using up some labels, and this one with the shield came out. But it's very interesting, just some of the little differences. I hope one day to get one of the color games, you know, like a Joust, maybe get a cartridge version of Joust and show you the difference. But there you go. It's the 1984 packaging for the Atari 7800 games. Some people don't even realize there was different packaging. It's pretty rare, pretty scarce. Hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on the next No Sir Gamer video.